So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to today's video. Obviously, yesterday we dissected and saw a bit of gameplay from Efootball, so I hope you guys have all digested the goodness and the badness, whatever you guys made of it. You know, it's always hard to judge a game with some off-screen camera, but we still got a bit of a flavour, to what Efootball was going to be about. So, right, in this video today, we have a little article to go over, which kind of talks a little bit about like skill moves and a few changes, like shot cancel, right? Used to be square and X, no longer, folks. They've changed it, so we're going to go over that, and I'm going to run this video as well in the background. I'm going to kind of half split it because honestly, it's not, you can't see a whole lot. It's only like 3 minutes of footage because it's kind of a presentation. But there's a little bit of gameplay for you guys to look at if you want to see it. It's different to what I showed yesterday, but it's not very long. So anyway, let's dive into this. So this is translated from Japanese, so it's not going to be the best, but we'll do what we can with what we have. So yeah, experience the eFootball 2022 that will be released on September 30th, as we know. Check out the new operations. So that's what we're going to be. We're back. We're back with the operations, folks. So yeah, as you can see on the left-hand side, you're going to have a little snippet of gameplay. They kind of just showed the dribbling. I mean, I can move this out of the way, but as you can see, there's not a lot on the screen. But I really think like something like this with the players dribbling and practicing running with the ball, it's all going to be new to us. We're going to have to learn the new controls, the new functions, the way things work. I did say that the dribbling kind of was a little bit too maybe FIFA-esque that I saw yesterday. I don't know till I actually play it. It's just, you know, when you play PES now, there's a little bit more of a separate identity between the ball and the player. Whereas FIFA, I feel like a lot of the time the ball is just glued to their feet, which I don't like, but it's again, I've got to play it to actually feel it myself. Alright, so let's move into the article here, and I'm just going to really go over, this won't be a long video, but I want to keep you guys up to date with what we have. So we're just gonna scroll down a couple of images here. So of particular note is the operation part, and this work introduces various new operations that enable intuitive play. I was able to actually play about 5 games, and I couldn't check all the operations enough, but I could still feel the difference. So please check it out. The buttons used are based on the PlayStation 5. A lot of people yesterday were saying it was PC gameplay because the person had a laptop ahead of the TV. No, they were live streaming and they were just recording it. There's no way Konami are going to give you a PC version. This is all PlayStation 5, which has always been the way for Konami. PlayStation has always taken, you know, a bigger step forward than Xbox, because as we know, the Xbox is quite limited to what it can do with the edit mode and stuff. Right, so new ball control and dash. All right, so this is what they're talking about that we sort of spoke about before about this dash, but basically, you've got ball touch control, defeat lightly on the, you just touch it lightly on the left stick. So we know the dash button is going to be the left stick and the R2 button. All right, so it's FIFA in a nutshell. For me personally, that is the way I've always played PES for like the last 5 or 6 years. Used to be R1 to sprint, but I have got so accustomed to using R2, accelerating in racing games, shooting in first-person shooters. I just like to sprint with R2, so for me it's not going to change. I actually like that change. We've got the chop touch, which is release and push the left stick and R2 up to a maximum. So there you go. Give it a good old maximum push. And yeah, it is now possible to control the speed at which the ball is kicked out by analog operation. You can control the ball with a small touch by gently tilting the left stick. Okay, so it's now possible to control the speed at which the ball is kicked out by analog operation. So again, we've got to play it to really feel it ourselves. Furthermore, it is until now it was dash with R1, as we know, but it is now going to be R2. It is also possible to control the size of the ball touch by adjusting the pressing of R2. Of course, you can dash with the same operation when defending and chase the opponent's ball holder. Fair enough. So basically, like now, if you get a ball fed into your feet and you press sprint, that player's going to take the big touch, but his big touch might be a poor touch. It really depends on the stats of the player. That's why sometimes it is best to just take your foot off the gas, get that ball under control. and play football. And I think that's what we saw yesterday with that video we put out with those two guys playing, which they weren't very good, no offense to them. But it was almost like they just kept pressing R2 the whole time. Just to sprint. Like, slow down. I do it myself, but sometimes you just have to slow it down. Right, the rest of this video is just these two lads chatting. So I'm just going to let it run again. There we go. We'll let it run through for a second time as I continue to plow through this article. You can also use a dribble that kicks the ball strongly, which is called chop touch. God, some of the wording they've come up with these moves are just horrendous. But they're not going to change them. When there is a large space in front, it seems that the player's speed can be utilized more. Also, although it is not implemented at this time, it will be updated to support haptic feedback and adaptive triggers on the PS5. So we're going to have to wait a little bit later before that comes into the mix. It is said that you will be able to feel the ball touch and the collision of the body, so I would like to expect this as well. So, yeah, I think the haptic feedback and the triggers, if they do it well and right, could be a little bit of fun. You know, if you collide into someone, the controller shakes. I mean, the PS5 controller, for me, is unbelievable. Absolutely. I bought Call of Duty, was it Cold War the other day, because it was on sale. Like, you know, the old campaign action, but I was in the helicopter, and the whole controller was like... And it felt like I was in a chopper. It's madness what these little controllers can do these days. But we'll see if Konami implement it correctly. All right, let's move forward here to, the juicy stuff. Right, so we've got easy body feint and kick cancellation. So this is where the change is going to happen. All right, so you've got the body feint, which defeat the right stick to the left and right. So you just move the right stick left and right, and he does a body feint. I hope they still have the left stick where you can kind of move it, and they used to jink their body. I used to absolutely love that. May have got rid of it, and now they're saying, yeah, they're going to use the right stick more. We'll see. But here it is. Kick cancelled. So it is now shoot and R1. It is no longer square X. I don't know if I like that. I'm going to have to change and get used to it. So what does it matter? But we're going to have to press X there now and R1 at the top. So instead of sliding your finger, you used to be able to slide it. Just square the X. Or even use the top of the thumb and then the middle of the thumb. And you've cancelled a shot. Now you're going to have to press that and that button. Like you're taking a picture. Boop, boop. So there we go. So body fake seems to be interesting. And you can play a feint using your upper body just by tilting the right stick to the left or right. According to Mr. Kimura, he is able to move freely even when trapping. Before holding the ball, one-on-one bargaining starts from the trap stage. I love the wording of these translations. Let's move on. All right, let's scroll down. Right, so, furthermore, the operation of so-called kick feint, which cancels a pass or shot, has changed. Until now, you had to press X button before kicking the ball. But in this work, you cancel the kick with the R1 button. The control shot operation that suppresses the strength and aims at the cursor is also an R1 and square button. And it is said that an operation that enables a strong kick will be added in the future. I'm really looking forward to using skillful kicks such as sharp crosses, high-speed passes, and rising shots. So what was this here? The control shot operation that suppresses the strength and aims at the course? I thought that said cursor. Apparently course. I don't really know what R1... They're just saying you cancel it with R1 and square. So there we have it. So you're going to have to learn that one, folks. That's a new one for you. We've got block passes and shots. Put your body in and stop your opponent. The part where I felt that the operation had changed... Well, basically, let's have a look right now. So, map, X and left stick. You got the tackle with the square. And then you got the charging with the L2. Now, you can always change these, of course. Let's just run this back again. Just keep playing the same video, but it's something for you guys to watch if you don't want to listen to me blabbering on. But you can always change the buttons, as we know, folks. It's customizable. If you don't want to have them this way, tweak them to your liking. But you would hope that Konami put the buttons in the right place to make it easier to play. The part where I felt that the operation had changed the most was the defense part. Until now, the X button was used for pressing, as we know. But in this work, pressing the X button matches up with your opponent's ball holder. So it kind of just jostles him, and just stands there, just sizes him up pretty much. It can now follow the opponent's dribble to some extent and automatically blocks the opponent's kick. Just by pressing and holding this X button, you can protect it to some extent, and it is easy to aim for a short counter that cuts the ball at a high position. It's pretty easy to protect, so even beginners can rest assured. So there we go. Basically, you'll use the X button now to get it right and then make that challenge. In the past, if a shot was shot, it had to be stopped by the keeper, so this operation seems to be appreciated by professional players. It'll be a very nice function for the defensive side and a troublesome function for the attacking side. This guy said, I think it's a big evolution in terms of defense. However, if you cannot cut the pass or get caught in a kick feint, you may be left behind by your opponent at once. Mr. Kimura also said that it is important to read with the other party because the reaction will be delayed if he dribbles while he is wary of the pass. Lots of different things to take into account. Of course, it is also possible to actively defend from here. One of them is the tackle with the square button, which allows you to aim for the ball by putting your foot in your opponent's pass or shot. If you close the gap with the opponent in the matchup and press the square button at the right moment, it will take the ball firmly. All right, so you size them up with X, and then when you get a chance, you give the square button the old push, and it'll try and win the ball. As I said, it looks and it is pretty much like FIFA now. It's not holding your hand as much. You can't team press. You're going to have to read the passes and actually defend, or you're probably going to get a good hiding. So, yeah, learn to defend, folks. Another operation is charging with the L2 button. It is a defense that makes use of the so-called body contact that puts the body between the opponent and the ball. And until now, it was difficult to use a defender who has no speed, even if he is physically strong. But in this work, such as a power-type player can also play an active part. Okay, I do like that. I don't like the fact that most games are about speed. When, if you're a strong, solid player, speed doesn't always have to be the number one thing. Use your physical attributes to give them a good barge. Mr. Kimura said it would be like that. Also, by pressing the L2 button when attacking, it is possible to keep the ball stretched. You can stretch the ball. Yeah, I don't think they mean like that. Match-up, tackle, and charging are all interesting operations, and I tried many times, but I still haven't got the hang of it. And when I tried to block the opponent's shot in the penalty area, I tackled from behind and the penalty was given. That's what I mean. People are going to have to relearn this game, and I think there's going to be a lot of frustrated people online to start with. But it could be good fun. Or bad fun. Depends the way you look at it. Alright, let's scroll down. The point of evolution in terms of visuals. The points of evolution in the visual and system parts were also introduced. First of all, it was mentioned that various measures were taken to make it one-on-one with a more convincing feeling. As we know, the one-on-one is a big thing this year. In addition to welcoming Iniesta and Piqué, he said that he tried to improve one-on-one based on the opinions of various experts, such as coaches and former players. Yeah, that's probably smart. I think it's more attractive than I imagined because it protects me well. Alrighty, and I think, ladies and gentlemen, the rest of this stuff was really just talking about the new camera, dual camera that we spoke about. We sort of seen that in action. It doesn't look bad. I'll try it. If I like the look of it, I'll stick with it. If I don't, then we'll change back to sort of dynamic wide. And that was it. Finally, he said the new brand of eFootball has changed the way we play. We will listen to the voices of SNS and the community after September 30th and reflect them in the update. I would like to come, so please look forward to it. Sounds great. Right, now if we move down ever so slightly, Ollie, you're in the way, mate. I can't change the video again. Rinse and repeat. There was literally a few snippets of these questions asked. So, are there any specific players, dribbles, and shots? Well, he stated the new operations introduced today are basically the same for all players, but dribbling, feinting, shooting, etc. will vary depending on each player's skill and parameters. But there is no such player only so far. I think they're kind of talking about player ID, so that's been a little bit lost. Which is a shame. You like to have that Messi-esque trait, or, Haaland is Haaland, Ronaldo is Ronaldo, etc. But, I don't know. Maybe we'll see that in a future update, as we love. Will the coins and the cards obtained in this work be taken over forever? What you have acquired and what you have purchased will be inherited even after the version upgrade. However, if there are teams or players that cannot be installed due to license reasons, we may take special measures. So yeah, save your stuff, and you may be able to move it over to PES from PES 21 to eFootball. Is there a service like taking over the paying players from the current... For home video game consoles, data has been handed over so far, has not been handed, as we have provided some continuous benefits depending on what you've played. The mobile version will update the current app, so basically it will be taking over. However, since the content of the game will change significantly, it's not possible to leave the data as it is. Yeah, you can't like move stuff really from PES 21 data-wise because it is obviously a brand new game. Is there a possibility that former Master League members such as Menanda and Castro will appear? He said, I have no plans for that at the moment. However, if there is a growing demand for such players, it may be possible that they will appear at some point. I mean, how many people nowadays actually do a full Master League? You know what I mean? Actually, I did see something on this video right there. Remember that little bar I saw yesterday? That little almost cone of vision, should we call it? I saw this guy just pull it off a split second ago. I can't find it now. Is it right here? No, I thought I saw it, but apparently I don't know. But yeah, we'll find out about all those little things when we actually get to play the game. Or they give us even more information. And the final question was, if you haven't played football so much, can beginners play this game? And he was like, this time the game is really intuitive and players can move, you know, with the left stick and activate the pass and guard with one button. Many people avoid it because it looks complicated, but he would love them to give it a good old fiddly widdly. Touch it, play with it, enjoy it. That's right. So, yeah, it's been dumbed down and it's very easy to play, folks. So there we go. And that is pretty much the article for today, ladies and gentlemen. So a few new bits of bobs. As I said, cancelling with the shot cancel is now R1. That's changed. So yeah, let's see how that pans out when we get to play it. Anyway, let me know your thoughts below. As always, we'll be back with Master League tomorrow. Don't worry, it's ready to roll, and it's a cracker of an episode, so stay tuned for that. I will be away this weekend, so I'm going to be a little bit light on the video front. I'll try and get a few out anyway. But until next time, subscribe for more and take care.